Okay, let's go. Migraine away. W day. Recap for this day. Gonna be a little bit longer. I took two trades this day. One eval, one funded. Let's see what I did when I got on. Daily, always daily. If you don't do daily first, I don't know. Do what you do. Okay, I got on, checked for gaps, SMTs, whatever. Did not really see shit in that matter. Wait, let me just start you on ES as well. Gotta where ES at? There he is. I got ES on my second monitor. That's why y'all can't see it, but I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna pull it over soon. Daily on ES, daily now. How was it when we started? Okay, so pretty similar. Not gonna lie. Took out the same targets above, same shit below, like usual. So then I scaled down to the 4 hour. Holy lag. I saw we had this low inside this 4 hour. You see the 4 hour here. I'm gonna just delete it instantly. We had that low. Like to mark out low slows because they might be draws eventually, potentially. On ES, we did have the same fucking low. Basically, you see it right there. And then we scaled down to the 1 hour. Oh, I saw we had a gap down there. I was like, okay, we didn't even tap it, we just edged it. I also saw we had a 1 hour up there. On ES, we had a 1 hour there at 8 a.m. But we also had the 1 hour there, but it was pretty small. Pretty small. And we think we made relative equal lows with this one. So on ES, this was like down there, relative equal lows. So I had conviction that we only had this 1 hour gap down up there, which we had tapped already pre-market. So my prediction for this day, and ES is so close to all-time highs as well, and we are close to previous week high, and inversing this gap and all of that, or like inversing, filling this NWAG. And then, so essentially I was like, okay, this is what I want to see. I marked out the 1 hour. I usually do most of this shit on the NQ. I usually only have ES for like slightly shit. I don't really like, oh, equal lows and ES, we're gonna go down. I do that. Of course, keep in mind that I don't really check that as much as some people. Probably should though. But I haven't found myself to have the need of that. You have to experiment that with yourself. I usually have ES up just for SMTs. Or to just know why the market did that when it did that and shit. But yeah, anyways, back to this. So what I wanted to see was on open, when I was doing my chart before market open. I recommend everyone to do that. Get on like 15 minutes before market open. Make yourself before anyone posts any bias, before I post my bias, just mark shit out yourself. Try to find your bias, and sometimes I'm wrong, you might be right. Anyways, start trying to experiment with your own bias. What I wanted to see, let's go down to the 30 minute, because this was also a 30 minute and it was a 15 minute, and I also saw that we were about to make this 30 minute. So I was like, I still want to see us go down to this 1 hour, higher time frame, higher power. You know, there's also a 30 minute and 15 minute and a 5 minute, etc. stacked up. This is a fucking 30 minute. Now let's go to the 1 minute. Market opened. We got a reaction down, which was into this. I was like, we can, if it presents itself and it creates a good reaction, take longs out of there and leave this behind. That is a possibility to go up there. So at this point, I was thinking that either this was gonna happen, like we make a strong reaction, make a 5 minute rejection block, and get entry for that. But what I was expecting to happen and what I wanted to happen was for us to go down here, create a reaction, tap that, go even further up, and take out the DOL. I was partially right, which we'll see later, but because we're gonna take out this weekly high eventually, but apparently not today. So what happened when we got on? I'm gonna swap this to 1 minute. Or when market opened, is I just sat here. I was paying attention to the 3 minute because market open is usually pretty volatile. 5 minute you can pretty fast miss out on shit. 1 minute you might take entries you don't want to take. So I went on a 3 minute, just sitting around. I was swapping between them, watching. Like if you traded 1 minute and you saw, oh, we tapped the fucking 30 minute and you took this first entry trigger, you got railed. Same with this. If you took this, you got railed. That's why you wait on the 3 minute or the 5 minute, because then you see, oh, we're just going down. We're still like targeting something. There's nothing reacting off that is valid yet. Keyword yet. Then we go past. We create slight reaction of taking out this 1 hour, 4 hour low that was in the 4 hour gap, and then we just dump through. We don't respect that. I wanted to see this one, and longs out of that would not be valid because we have a 1 hour so close below us. So I wanted to see us go back down, tap the 1 hour for us to get a reaction to go higher. What did we do, boys? We created, we went a little bit further down, but don't think this is an inverse when we close on the 1 minute below this, because for it to inverse, it has to close on the same time frame. 1 hour here has not closed. It can still be respected. It only wicked through. For inverse for a gap to be, you have to close below the gap or above the gap. Fill it completely on the same time frame. That's my rule of thumb. So I was still, okay, the longs are still in play. Just gotta be patient. Patient I was. We soon enough got, when was it? Soon. Close to 10 a.m. Yeah, here, we got a reaction. Which I was looking at. Wanting this to flip, this 3 minute to flip bullish, but we got the next candle bullish, which also made this 5 minute. Then as soon as I saw this 5 minute with this good reaction, and I saw the 1 hour was like getting respected, we're gonna get respected because we created this 5 minute. I was looking for my entry. This is a slightly bigger entry than I usually do. That's why I did lower risk. Can even turn on, I cannot turn on execution marks right now. So I did enter at the beginning of the 5 minute with a 29 point stop. That's a little bit on the bigger side. I usually go for 25, 15 to 25. And I was targeting, I'm pretty aggressive in the targets. You don't have to be. I was targeting up here originally, but when 10 a.m. opened, I saw we inversed that 4 hour gap that I showed you all this was in. And 10 a.m. manipulated above, which means 10 a.m. is probably going to distribute lower. So what I did then, I was, okay, this is way too ambitious. I was thinking I'm probably going to target something like here. That's still pretty aggressive because I am pretty aggressive in my targets, but I'm also pretty aggressive in my break-evens and my partial TPs. The ideal scenario for people would probably be to target some sort of internal high and get an entry trigger. Like this internal high is a valid target. But if you can get an entry to that, I don't know, remember if you do, you get edged. So my entry is there. You see I got tapped in on 0955, like that. Tapped in there, and we get a pretty strong reaction off the bat. And I have my break even. I was still targeting this high up here, and I had my break even. Let's see, I had it right there at this internal high, and I had partials there. So, because when we opened 10 a.m. there, I was like, okay, down. This might flip. 10 a.m. manipulating above with no wick, inversing that 4 hour. I would have liked us to be a little bit more bullish as soon as I got into the trade. That didn't happen, unfortunately. You can't win them all. So what I did then was, again, that was when I pulled this down there, and I was planning on getting out of the trade. I was planning on getting out like 25 to 50% of the trade with my BE and go BE on this internal high, which is also the beginning of this 5 minute. What we did, we went up, we tapped it. I got out with 2 contracts. I got break even, or I went break even. So at this point I was here, no risk on the table, already slightly profits. And when we inversed this 1 minute to the downside, which we did there, I went out with another 25% of the position, and I put my break even slightly in profit. I had it around midnight open, and I just let it run. I knew this trade was probably going to be cooked after the rejection of the 5 minute and the 10 a.m. manipulating that into the 5 minute to distribute lower. This trade was really good. Unfortunate how we didn't push back up above this 4-hour gap, or didn't like that we didn't respect it in time. So that's the time we gotta pay attention, be aware, and know when to go break even and when to, you get me. And then we proceed to get me break even right about midnight at these lows, and then we just run. So all in all, glad I was able to preserve capital, even get some profits on that. That's like where you have to pay attention to the markets, know when it does what it does. That comes with experience. And so yeah, trade idea was valid, played out, and then we were too slow to go back above this gap because 10 a.m. inversed it slightly. If we were to push up a bit more before 10 a.m. and closed like up there, that would be nice, but we weren't fast enough, I guess. So at least the trade is still valid. I was just aggressive with my TP. I don't know if you could have gotten any entry triggers. There's no entry triggers there, but if you were to get an entry trigger on the same trade, it is really valid. If the risk to reward is better than 3 on fundeds, for me, I need to get at least 4.5. So if you were to get like this type of trade, or even like 20-point stop, this is a perfect target. The first internal high before a 5-minute gap. That's perfect. I just like going for targets bigger and taking partials at those points. That's me. You don't need to do that. It's better to be more consistent, I'd say. Then I was like, okay, that's my funded accounts taken care of for the day, not trading them anymore. I was at the bathroom in this point, and I know that from a couple days ago, or yesterday, we had this low resistance and a 4-hour gap, which I wanted to take long side of yesterday, but that never happened. So what I did is I saw that, I was like, oh damn, this might present really good longs, like extremely good longs. But a first move, but that was this 5 minute. Wait, let me see, you gotta go back a little bit, I think. Yeah, this created a 5 minute rejection block. It is, this one is not bullish, but the next one is. That was what confirms it. So I actually did a break even trade here on when I traded my eval separately. With this one I took a little bit lower risk on, only $200. I usually risk $400 on evals. I went because the stop was so big. I think I entered around about there, somewhere around. I got tapped in. I don't really remember. I think I got tapped in. No, that's too big of a stop. Did I take it here? Wait, let me see. Did some OTE bullshit, I remember. Yeah, I entered like on 0.62. Oh yeah, I did really low risk. Really low risk. In for 1 to 3. I only do 1 to 3 on evals. So $400 risk. This is a really big stop. Oh, I never do this on fund. It's only evals. And as soon as we took out this high, this internal high, I'm gonna break even. So here I'm already break even. Be aggressive on your evals to go break even and stuff. I don't really take partials. I only trade aggressively and go break even aggressively. And that got break even. So but I still had really high conviction on this trade. This trade I was really high convicted on. We have just swept out a shit ton of low resistance. We had S&T. When I took this trade, we had S&T with the S, which makes it immaculate. But you can't win them all, of course. That one, no money lost. Still a really good trade. But we got a better opportunity right here. This was basically engineered liquidity. So what I did then is I took this entry trigger. Don't do this type of trading on your fundeds. I only do this on evals and if it presents itself. Both of these were, for me, like if I didn't take him, I was kind of a retard. So I kind of had to take him. But of course, within the reasonable amount of risk and on evals, and I can afford to do it on evals, don't do this if you can't afford it. Take normal trades, like the funded trades you would do, like the most obvious trades. I just like to pass my evals fast. And this one got tapped into the tick and just fucking ran. I think I took take profit. Yeah, I took it right here on the 15-minute CE for a quick 1 to 3. And now I can even leave this and show you all the execution marks. Yeah, there you see it. So I had entered, got a pretty nice entry, instant reaction, took out this high, went break even, and took out 2 contracts, and then I took out the rest of the 6 when we hit TP. That was the CE of the 15-minute rejection wick. We were kind of choppy. It was a chop trade, but did just take out all that low resistance. And for me, this is a really good trade to take. I wouldn't still not take it on my funded, of course, but for an eval trade, this was pretty good. I would not be mad about losing these at all. And yeah, so that was a pretty nice trade. Took another trade here as I showed you. I can show that account as well. That was on my fundeds. And yeah, got that shit, got TP, and it just ran straight down. I don't know what we're targeting right now. Bias was wrong today, I'll say the least, but I'm not the only one. And I was actually debating taking, because this was stupidly obvious to just catch a quick little retrace, not overextend. That's why I did evals. But this 10em, I don't trade in 10em anymore. But I was looking in, actually kind of thinking about taking this one. But that one got edged. I just marked it out to kind of forward test. I used to take these before. You can target that internal low. You can target the low resistance all the way on the left. Whatever you want to do. That's insane RR. Holy shit. Yeah, that's kind of ambitious though. I'd probably target this to play it safe. So, but I got edged. Didn't even place a limit on it because I was not thinking about taking another trade today, but this presented itself. The trade I wanted to take yesterday. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it on an eval. Play it out pretty nicely. Now we continue to dump. Let's see what we want to do. I don't know, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. We might just want lower. Did we have any news? Down. Let me check. Let's check. Yeah, no. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, anyways. For me, banger day. Don't be mad if you sat the day out or if you didn't get entries, because there's always going to be another day. Of course, y'all know that. I say it. I'm going to say it every recap basically. There comes today, tomorrow. There comes in a week, next week. There's a month after next month. The markets ain't going nowhere, bro. Do the shit at your own pace. You don't always have to, and don't copy others. Find your own strat. That's a fucking bumblebee in my room, so I'm probably going to end the recap. Went over all the shit I did. Took this shit and went to take a shower, so yeah, that's the recap for today. Now I'm gonna edit this shit, get it to y'all as soon as possible, and let's hope tomorrow's gonna be equally as good as today, for me at least. I mean, price action was kind of price actiony, but a dub for me is always a dub in my books. Yeah,